Hello, Dorothy here at the Done by Dorothy Studios today, and we're here today. We're working on our Purple Passion kit, so I wanted to sort of come in and we're doing the next section. So I've did my cover, which I realized I sort of sewed slightly crooked here, but most of this is going to be covered on the front. This was just to secure the area, so it'll be fine. So I did sew along my edge all the way across the bottom, down the center, and then up here. So that's going to create one large pocket. Our top pocket here, which is almost like a file folder pocket. It's a file folder, so it makes sense. But this creates like a small pocket. And then this is going to create our side pocket. So one thing I want to do, we sort of have this little tab on this side, right here where it angles up, which I like. And this has got, the same thing over here, but this is sort of flat. So I do want to do a small punch. This is a 1-inch punch, and I'm just lining it up. You can see where hopefully you can see where I've drawn the little lines. So I always do that. I find the center vertical and horizontally and mark it on my punches, just because that makes it with a black permanent marker, because it just makes it easier when I'm going to punch. And like if I want to punch a half circle, I know exactly, where it's at on there. I don't have to sort of guess. Okay, so there. Now we've got our little hole for that. And then when we mat this, we'll be able to, I have a bigger, I need to buy a 1.25 inch, and it would be a perfect fit, but I haven't done that yet. So I may end up doing that when I get done with here, off of here. So we've got that done. So I'm going to set that to the side. This is pretty much done until we get ready to mat it. So we're going to set that to the side. And we have our envelopes that we Mod Podged, and they are finished, and they came out beautifully. So I want to put them back together where I had separated them, which if you dye them and you put them in your water, they will, come unsealed. And I'm just going to run some art glitter glue through here. And let me do this side. Just enough on there to hold it. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. And then I was like sort of holding them down as I glue them in. That's just the way that I do it. Okay. And again, there we go. So that is the back of our envelope, which I like the way it turned out. And there's our front. I really like sort of the paint and the napkin just create, a different look. And then you have all the dry flat brushing we did. So I like the way that turned out. And this is the one we just painted, but we didn't Mod Podge on. So we need to glue it back together. And I just run a little bead of glue through there is all you have to do. And a lot of times it won't, like where we dyed, you can see the white line here. It won't take the dye because of the glue on it. And it sort of makes it easy when you got to put it back together. If, you've off centered your folds or something like that, it makes it a little bit easier to fit together. So there we go. We've got that one. And I love that with like the little lilac. Sort of looks like a lilac field at the bottom. I'm going to go in, actually, let me see if because I've got a green pen and I was just going to use the pen. I have a couple different pens. Let me grab a piece of paper to try this out on. Give me a second. Trying to find, I can use a post-it note. It's okay. It's pink. It's a pink post-it note, but it'll be okay. Just to sort of, this is an older pen, so yeah, there it went. I don't really like that. I want something a little darker, I think. Let's see what this one looks like. That's a darker one. I sort of like that. Yeah, that's a darker green. That all actually looks blue looking on there, but it's actually green. Let me see if I have any other greens that I can use. I sort of like that. That's a true green. I think we'll actually use that. And it's a sort of a highlighter. It is a Sharpie Accent liquid highlighter. I actually have a couple of those. Let me see if this one has, I think this one's a little darker. It's not there. There we go. Like that. Oops, sorry. That was my noisy drawer. And I'm just going to go in and I'm not going to do it in any random order. Just sort of imagine if each one was a lilac plant where the stems would connect. So going back through adding just sort of filling it out a little bit more so it doesn't look so empty. I think that's good. I'm good with that. And give it a, so if you can see the little streaks down here at the bottom, the green, it just adds, just it gives it a little bit of a stem look. So it looks more like they have little stems. So that was easy. And we got that one glued together. So that one's finished. And I really liked how it turned out. And then this is the one we decoupaged quite heavily. Normally, I'm an inker. You guys know that. And I would love to ink this. And I have the really pretty, what is it? Picked Preserves or something Preserves. It's a purple distress ink. I think it's Picked Preserves. And I could use it, but these are with the paint and the decoupage and all that. I don't know. I may ink them. I don't know. We'll have to. I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave them the way they are, but that's the way that one turned out. There's the back and the front, which I really love this. It's really pretty. So we have all three of our envelopes completed to use in our journal. And you can see they're going to be where they're going to sort of stick out of the top because of the height of them as we use them. So like one will definitely go in the center. Probably this one, I think, will go in the center of the signature. Okay, this one, I'm actually think I'm going to use as a flip out on the front or back cover. So what I'll probably do is end up, cutting it down. Or you know what? I could actually cut it and use it on the front or the back as a double pocket. I think we'll do that. I do believe we'll do that. So with this one, I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to glue the top of the envelope down. So I'm going to seal this envelope shut. Like that. Seal it shut. Okay, let me set it to the side for a moment. This one, I'm actually going to put in our pocket here. And it's going to stick out, which is fine because it's on the front. It doesn't bother me. And I will probably put a grommet in there with the charm hanging off the end of it. But it doesn't bother me that it sticks out. It's on the front, so that's quite all right. So yeah, I like that. Okay, and this one's going to go in our signature, so we're going to go ahead and put it in there. And put it in there. Okay, and I know I'm sort of bouncing around, so bear with me. Then we have our envelope needs glued. Our pocket needs glued. Of course, we have our belly band and all of our little flip outs. We're going to do our folder, and I will come back in and round the corners once I get it together. That's just the way that I like to do that. So this is going to go this way. And I was going to fold it under, but I've actually decided that I want it a little bit flatter to slide stuff in because I want it to be more secure. So instead of I'm going to run a bead of glue right on the fold line where I put it. And you could sew this, and I may go over it and sew it, but I want to at least glue it down to give it some more support so it's held in place, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Squishing that glue around, making sure it sticks, because sometimes it doesn't like to stick when there's paint involved. And then I'm going to go ahead, open this up. I'm going to run a bead of glue because I probably will sew this around. I think it adds so much more when you sew it. And some of this I'm going to cut off, so we'll see where it ends up. Hopefully I'll get some glue on the edge there. Yep, I did. And I need to straighten it up a wee bit so it's not on there crooked. I can go ahead and trim off this excess part that's left over. Okay, so we've got that side of it done. I'm going to lift to this side. And again, I'm going to really run a lot through the middle there, so I'll run just a little more there. And again, I'm going to sew this, so I'm just adding enough to secure it, just to hold it in spot while I sew it. Let me make sure I get this part down. Don't want that to mess up. And again, you know, we're messing with file folders here, so you can sort of make it even in case it like folded crooked. Just move it around together really good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut off this extra bit. Now you could, in fact, if you wanted to, leave that tab on there and create sort of a side tab, but I actually want this to be more of a square folder, I think, and that'll, you know, I'm going to round these outside corners. So it's just a matter of straightening it up because it's a little crooked, probably from where I cut it. There we go. So that straightened it up. So I need to trim along the little bottom here because you always have that. Sometimes I have that little, you know, slightly crooked bottom part on there. Okay, so that creates our little folder that goes in the center, and it will decorate that. So we've got that done. Let's set that to the side. Where did it? Okay, put it over here. Okay, this has to be cut. We're going to glue this. So we're going to need to put glue along this edge and along the bottom. And again, I'll sew around this, but I want to hold it secure so it'll be basically glued down as I sew. Time to fill my bottle again. So I love having the little bottle. It's so easy on my hands, but oh, you have to fill them all the time. And you know, if you got like 2 or 3 of them and you could fill all 3 of them at the same time, and then just when all 3 of them are empty, then you did a refill, it would be a little bit better. Okay. So there is that. So that creates our floating pocket because it's got the little tab to glue it down. So we got it done. See, these are already done. These just need folded. And because we cut these on the scored bottom of the file folder, it makes it real easy. You don't even have to get a scoreboard out. You just fold it on the line that's already there. I left one line on there just because I don't see any reason to have my tab any more than a 1/2 inch. And I do like to triangle my corners. Okay, those away. Now this, I'm going to go ahead and leave. I was going to fold it under to sort of give it some space, but I actually think I'm going to use it as a flat belly band so things are more secure. Okay, so we have this. So we are down to doing our inserts. Let me grab my cutter. And again, because it's heavier, I'm using this. So my envelopes are 9 1/4 by 4, 9 1/4. So I'm going to do 4 5/8 roughly, I believe. Let's see, 4 5/8. Yep, it's going to be about halfway or really darn close. Okay, really close. Yep. So I have that. So I actually think that I will use these as pockets on the front, the inside covers after we get our base paper down. So I think those will work lovely. I'm going to, again, take my 1-inch punch and notch the top, which means we will have to put a small bit in to cover the back, which is fine. That doesn't bother me. We have quite a bit of solid cardstock. I can slide back in there in any color with all the green and the napkin that was decoupaged. I think a green in the underneath would look really awesome. And you can't have everything. I mean, you could do everything purple, but so yeah, so that's going to be my 2 pockets. So those are done. I set those aside. Okay. Now we have these that we Mod Podged yesterday. Now this was like a sort of a lilac, but I don't know if you can tell. Well, yeah, you can tell. When I painted it with the Mod Podge, it moved the ink around on the paper. So that's pretty cool looking. So I'm going to slide this up enough just so I have a straight edge. There we go. Put that away. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and cut this the same way. So I have that straight edge on there. And if it's crooked, that doesn't bother me any. I'm going to go ahead and straighten this one up on here, though. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There we go. And then this, remember I said we were going to do the 2. So I'm just going to slide it up somewhere in between. And then we'll try it in a minute if we have to. Because I thought these would look really cute inside one of them at least, inside our large envelope. So I think these were 4, right? Correct, yes, 4. So these need to be slightly under 4. I think we'll put this one inside the envelope. So it just needs, let's take a little bit there. Let's take just a tad bit off this side. Okay. And we'll take some of our paper and put on the back. And we have an insert inside of our envelope now. So we'll do that in a second. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this little edge off here because that one edge is really bare and I don't like that. Plus it makes it easy to cut the napkin off and keep everything straight versus me trying to do it with scissors because it's not going to be straight if I do it by scissors. So I'm just going to use this where that little piece of the napkin fell off there. And I'm going to do a small insert and just sort of, let it play by. I'm going to go ahead and keep that because I could use that for a paper cluster. So there's one small insert and the other. And again, I could stencil the back of these, or, you know, we'll cover them with paper here in a minute. So there's those. Then I have my big, beautiful page over here. So again, I thought I would do some tags with this. So I'm going to use this natural line here. I want to do one large tag, I know. So I'm going to, there we go. I wanted to do the large tag to go in the pocket. Let me see. And my folder is how big? Let's see. My folder is 9 inches, so I need my tag at maybe around 8.5. So I'm actually going to take it up to 8, I think. Just going to leave me a nice little square. I'm going to go ahead and sort of get rid of this white edge. Oh, no, I think I'll leave that white edge on. So that'll be the base of our tall tag. And this, I was going to trim it up, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just trim up this little napkin overhang here. There we go. And I think I'll actually keep that as a small tag we can tuck in. Okay, then we have this. So I thought I would do some small tags with this. Let's see, 11. Let's go 3.5 inches. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't want to do 3.5. Let's go 2.5. 2.5. That's going to take it down to 6. Let's do a couple 2.5 ones. And then, let's see, that leaves me 6 inch, so we'll do a 3 inch. And I'm going to trim this one up on the side. There we go. Okay. Fold that. So that gives us some nice, some slender tags and some longer ones. And I really like all this with the hydrangea on it. And then I'll put, it's not going to be just straight. Some of them I'll keep straight. But then, you know, I'll decorate over top of some of them too. Okie dokie. So I'm going to use a piece of my purple paper that I have. And I could have completely backed this on there. I mean, but I sort of like being able to place, if I can get my glue to work here. And again, I'm going to sew around the edges of these, so I'm not really worried about securing it everywhere. And then I'll just do it down the middle. There we go. And we can round the corners of these. I can notch the edges. Again, I'm sewing around the edges of all these, so I'm not worried really about them being permanently secure, just secure. Long enough for me to sew them on. There we go. That's down. Let's go ahead and do our large one over here at the side. I like sliding them up into the corner because then I only have to worry about cutting 2 edges instead of all 4. There we go. And we will just keep booking right along. Let me go ahead and use that small one up here. And all of these I will sew around the edges. There's my clock. There we go. And I do have some of my purple paper that I'm going to be kitting up and putting on my Etsy store. I've been a little bit delayed doing that because I decided if I was going to do that, I might as well do some envelopes. So it's more of like a full kit versus just a partial kit. Isn't it look pretty even with the purple in the background? This one looks so pretty on the backs of those. And I love my purple papers. They came out absolutely beautiful. So I was actually dyeing some papers of different colors. I did some purple, some yellow. I did a stormy sky blue. That's sort of, I don't know, it's its own blue color. I think it looks like a stormy sky, the color that I came out with, but I don't know. It's not quite this, like the Distress Ink Stormy Sky, but it's close. Let's see, I did purple, pink, yellow. Was I? Yeah, I think those were the. And then I did one that's like a deep, dark, almost like a galaxy blue, but not a true like royal blue. Like if the galaxy was like a dark emerald color, but they came out absolutely awesome. And I did some like that. Because some people were like, "Do you dye colors? Do you dye any in really, really dark colors?" You know, I'd be really interested in dark colors. Because I had a couple people get a hold of me. So I will be posting. I'm going to try to get those on today if I can. Things have been extremely busy and crazy, and we've had a lot of bad storms and nonstop rain. It's just been insane. So trying to get anything done in between, you know, because I don't like recording or being live or anything like that when it's thundering and lightning because, you know, I just sort of don't want to get zapped. I'm going to come out one short, so, which is fine. One to back, which is, like I said, is fine because we will use that for something else. The rest of it, the remainder of it. And I'll notch all the, what I call my ears on my tags, the little corner, you know, the little triangle corners. I'll notch all those, and so that, I mean, you guys know how to do that. If not, I can show you how to do one. Or that's easy peasy. Okay. Grab my cutter. Okay. Okay, I'm going to trim this off like this. Sharpen my cutter because it's starting to rip things at the bottom. This is crazy. It drives me nuts. Okay. And that's fine. Let me set this to the side. Okay. I'm going to find my two pockets. That one's, I cut it slightly crooked. That was not centered on my pocket. Let me, there we go. So I'm just going to, let me see if that's going to fit in there. It should. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to throw a little glue around here. That's one thing that's really hard to do on camera. I have to pull it off because I can't ever get them tucked in there quite right. So we actually ended up doing purple there. Because I had the little purple scrap, so. And I probably will ink across that. I don't know, I may keep it that way. I sort of like it. Let's see, and then this one needs trimmed up a bit. Let's go this way. Let's just turn it about right there, I think. Yep, about perfect. Just perfect. Slightly crooked right there. There we go. Hope everybody's having a great day. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you're an old subscriber, thank you. If you're just visiting, well, subscribe, like, comment, all those wonderful things. Let me set these to the side. Okay, this I was going to cut off, but since it's excess, I'm simply going to fold it over and I will adhere it to a page as a flip because it already has that on there, so I might as well keep it that way. This is the other part of that. Where's my page? Is this it? Okay, this is my solid page. So I'm going to go ahead, since I have this, I'm going to just fold this in half. Put that in there as an extra journaling piece of paper, right like that. Then we have this one that's going to go in there. And again, I'll sew around these. And again, with this one, I was going to cut all the paper off of it, but I really like this purple edge along here. So I'm actually going to leave that on there. It just sort of adds another layer to it. And again, I'm sewing around these, so if they appear to be sort of loose, that doesn't really bother me. And it doesn't bother me if they have like this slight purple edge out. I think it sort of adds another dimension, makes it look sort of 3D. So there's that. So this card will go in here with that. So that will go inside there. I told you once it starts going, it goes. This will go in here. And I actually think I will put it in here. And then we'll have our big tag too. And then I'll sort of just add in our envelope. So there'll be quite a bit of stuff stuffed in the front here. We'll have that in there. Then we'll have this, which will create sort of that layer with a different color. And then we'll also have our tall tag. Let me go ahead and trim it out. And again, I'll do the corners and all of that. And this, I will actually slide in here this way so the white is at the top, just because I think it adds an altered dimension with the color. And then we'll have the front decorated, and I'm going to put a pocket across here. So we will cut it out in just a second. And remember, we still have all the ephemera with the kit too. That's going to go in. So this is just going to be the journaling booklet, guys. It just worked out that way. So I'll ink up the spine and I'll sew around it, and that'll open up. That'll be just a little booklet. I'm going to trim the top here. Just trim slightly, right like that. Okay, so that's going to create our little journaling booklet. This is just going to be a journaling card that will go in some of our pockets, because remember, we have the pockets we created. And this will look really good slid down in there, right like that. A little journaling book. There we go. And we have this one. And then we'll, we've got some lace to put on there. All that kind of stuff. I'm going to leave that purple on the edge. I love that purple on the edge like that. I think it looks really good. Okay. That and that tucked in there. Plus we have the other ephemera. Actually, going to leave the purple one here too. Okay, part of this purple on the top, I'm going to fold over about 1/8 of an inch, somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4. And you could use your scorer to do that, but I'm just going to sort of eyeball it. Get it sort of straight. Grab my glue. Put some glue along there. If I can get my glue to work. It's being peculiar because it's getting towards the end of the bottle, so it wants to act crazy. There it goes. Okay, so let me dribble some glue down through there so we can glue that down. That's just going to add extra support along the top there. And again, I'm just going to roll it down and work it so it's sort of even. There we go. Pretty close. A little wonky. It's okay because I'm going to put lace across the top, so... But I wanted to just add a little bit more support under there. Right like that. That's going to get glued on there on the front after we decorate and all that. So, or I'll probably do it this way. So we have the even, I don't know. We'll see. I change my mind like that about that kind of stuff. Like, I don't like doing the front. I would never, after I decorate it, then I'll figure that out. So that is it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay healthy and happy. And we will see you back here tomorrow for another edition on the Purple Paper Passion Altered File Folder Lapbook. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.